What is going on, guys? This is Matt, and welcome to Tech by Matt, episode 6, I believe it is. Um, so I'm gonna give a few minutes just to let everyone get into this. So why don't everyone let me know how their day is going so far in the chat, and definitely get your questions and stuff ready. I'll be going over some tech news, along with looking for deals, and then answering questions and stuff, and eventually probably ending the stream with some Overwatch playing. Hello Blitzer Geek. Hello Dylan FPS. Hopefully you're getting a 580. That's pretty good. Definitely make sure your power supply has enough power to power that if you're getting it. Who's got a 1050? I was thinking about getting a 1050 just because there was a pretty good deal on one earlier this week, but I didn't end up pulling the trigger. It was like $70 after rebate, but it was a $20 rebate, so I wasn't sure about that. It was an MSI variant, I'm pretty sure. Would I recommend a 1050 for a first cheap option? Yeah, 1050's pretty good. Blitzer Geeks saying get a 1050 Ti. Yeah, if they're similarly priced, definitely go for the 1050 Ti, but either way is going to perform pretty good for 1080p. Hello, Morad. So I think we're going to go ahead and start talking about the news stuff right now. There's not like a whole lot of exciting stuff in terms of PC hardware news and technology news in the past week, but there were some interesting articles I was able to find, so I'll just go ahead and get into those. So this first one is apparently certain HP laptops have been found to be keylogging, or in other words, recording users' keystrokes. So I'm not exactly sure which laptop models it's talking about, but I would definitely check out this article, or just Google HP laptops keylogger and see if your laptop is one of the ones that are affected by this, because that's pretty scary. But I guess even like I saw one of Barnacle,'s videos where he talked about even, I guess, Microsoft in general with Windows 10, each keystroke you register, if you look at a network utility tool like the Glasswire, you'll see that every time you do a single keystroke, it'll send a tiny packet of data up to the cloud. So I guess even Microsoft is doing that with Windows 10. Hey, Urban Runner. So that was pretty interesting. This next article was that apparently there will be Windows 10 mixed reality headsets at the end of this year, which is pretty interesting. And honestly, mixed reality / augmented reality is something I'm kind of almost more excited about than virtual reality, because for those of you that don't know, it's kind of bringing the digital world and the real world together in the way that if you're playing a video game, something like Minecraft is the example for the HoloLens that Microsoft is developing. You can literally play Minecraft like on your coffee table and move the blocks and stuff, and it'll be affected by it'll recognize the world around you and put those as parameters. So that's pretty interesting that mixed reality / augmented reality is coming, and it's coming pretty soon by the end of the year. So this next article is about that AMD is holding a press conference at the end of this month. So in 20 days, they're holding a press conference. It's not really talking about, they haven't said what the press conference is going to be about, but it's either going to be about Vega or Ryzen 3. And most people are thinking it's going to be about Vega, which should be pretty interesting. And we have no idea how it's going to perform. Everyone's expecting it to perform at least as good as the GTX 1080. A lot of people obviously want it to perform as good or better than the 1080 Ti, but we're not really sure at this point what it's going to do, or if it's even going to be announced at this press conference on May 31st. But obviously we'll have to see and find out. This next article is that apparently Microsoft's HoloLens, which is another example of augmented reality, is going to be used to give X-ray vision to surgeons during surgery. So, which is pretty interesting. They'll be able to pinpoint exact locations of organs and stuff, by using mixed reality or augmented reality, which is pretty interesting. Now, this next article I have up is that Linux drivers are pointing to an upcoming AMD RX Vega liquid-cooled dual GPU solution. So apparently AMD is going to be releasing a dual Vega liquid-cooled card, kind of similar to the 295X2, and it'll probably be the most powerful single graphics card in the world. It's more than likely not going to be the most powerful single GPU in the world, but it will more than likely be the most powerful dual single graphics card. But yeah, that was another interesting article. And then the final news article is that BioStar just revealed 2 AM4 motherboards that are made specifically for cryptocurrency mining, so stuff like bitcoins and all that, which is kind of odd to see, seeing that the anything with CPU or GPU cryptocurrency mining doesn't really make that much sense. It's not that efficient, seeing that there's very specific ASIC rigs that can help with all that stuff now. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at the chat right now. So let me see. So, all right, CEO Warren Wolf, Urban Runner says, are you going to make a video about the Raspberry Pi or the Asus Tinkerboard? I actually have a Raspberry Pi and I'd like to make a video about it. I've got a pretty interesting idea that I haven't seen other people do. And I think one thing I'd like to do with it is I'd like to play with emulation in terms of like NES and all that stuff, along with using it for another idea that I don't want to say just yet. But you guys will definitely see a video about that probably this summer, within the next month or two. And the next video will be up this Sunday. I'll have a video scheduled up to be up in the morning, probably sometime in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So definitely just check any time during Sunday and it should be up for you guys to check out. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the chat and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is go and search for some deals, because that was really all of the tech news right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Build a PC Sales, and I think there's actually a decent amount of deals today. So if you guys want to check these out, I definitely recommend sticking around. So this first one is, I've actually looked at Build a PC Sales earlier today, so I've seen some of these. This is actually a really good deal. This is a pre-built, which obviously I'd normally recommend building your own PC, but for $450, you're getting an i5-6400. You're getting a RX 480 4GB, 8 gigabytes of DDR4, a 128 gig SSD plus 1 terabyte hard drive. You get Wi-Fi, Windows 10, all that stuff together for only $450. It is refurbished, but still that's a really good deal if you're in the market for a system and you just want it to be plug and play. It obviously doesn't look that flashy or the greatest, but it's going to perform decently well with those specs. So Blitzer Geek says, what do you think RX 470 or 570 prices will go down below 150? When? I mean, it's probably going to be at least a month from now, I would say. Definitely be checking Build a PC Sales a lot, because those guys usually seem to find the deals really quickly. If it's going to go below 150 anytime soon, it's definitely going to be with a mail-in rebate. So if you're fine with using mail-in rebates, then it'll probably be sooner than that. But I know with the RX 470, it dropped as low as $120 with the rebate, which is an incredible deal for that card. It was like a single fan, not that great of a cooler. I forgot what brand it was, but $120 for a 470 was a really good deal. And I wish I had jumped on that deal when it was available. So in terms of other deals on Build a PC Sales, here's a desktop from eBay, i7 2600, 8 gigs, Windows 10, 250 gigabyte hard drive, $150. That's no key deal. The only thing is, you can see from this picture that This is a slimline unit, so you can only use low profile cards, but you can actually, oh, this is over, but you can actually get a low profile 1050 Ti or low profile RX 460 for not that much more than the regular variants. So that could be an option. Yeah, it was definitely the power color one. It was the Red Dragon, I'm pretty sure. And hey, Danny, how's it going? In terms of other deals, the Steam Link for $20 is pretty good. And if you're interested in streaming your games to your television, it's definitely going to work. You definitely only want to get the Steam Link if you have wired internet. Otherwise, the latency will just be way too high. But if you're wanting to play your Steam games on your TV and not have a dedicated PC or Steam box or whatever, it's definitely a good option. At only $20, it seems like it would be worth it just to get it and tinker with it. I may actually get it and test it out and see how it is. But who knows? I've got more video ideas and stuff than... there's a lot of videos in the works, so I don't want to add too much onto that pile. The Logitech G602 for $40, that's not really that great of a deal. That's actually the mouse I'm using right now. I think I got it for $30 new, and it's honestly worth every penny at the $30 I paid for it. It's nice not having to deal with the cord, and normally I wouldn't spend that much on a mouse, but it works perfectly fine for gaming. It's very efficient in terms of battery use. It lasts months on 2 AA batteries, and yeah, but I don't know if I'd pay $40. That's not really that incredible of a deal. But okay, monitor 144 hertz 1440p for $269. That's actually a really good deal. 027 coupon. That's a pretty incredible deal. I'm sure it's not IPS or anything, but $270 for 144 hertz 1440p. If anyone's looking for a gaming monitor to be used for now into the future, this is a really good deal. I definitely recommend it. This is another deal that I've seen come on a lot recently. Well, not recently, within the past couple months, it's been on and off. You can get a 128 gig flash drive for $33.99. Now, that doesn't sound like that incredible of a deal, but it has read and write scores of over 400 megabytes per second, so it's essentially a portable SSD. 128 gigs for $33.99. I'm actually thinking about getting one of these to, I don't know, this would be good as like a portable games drive, or even as, this would be perfectly fine if you're to like edit off of on the go. Because with 400 megs read and write, that's a very good speed. That's almost maxing out the USB 3.0 bus as far as I know. So that is a good deal. There's actually there have been a fair amount of good deals right now. And I looked earlier and like half of these weren't even here. So here's an Enermax cooler with black LEDs for $19. That's a pretty decent deal, but you do have the $10 mail-in rebate, and I'm not the biggest fan of mail-in rebates, but money's money, so there is that. Blitzer Geek says that he has some old wireless keyboard and mouse from Logitech and mouse. Yeah, they make such a wide variety of like range of keyboards and mice and other peripherals and whatnot, so they've got something for basically everyone. All right, so let's see, 28-inch 4K LED TN monitor for $250. That sounds like a pretty good deal. It is factory refurbished. The only thing is, for 28 inches 4K, that would be too dense for me. I would want at least a 32-inch screen if it's going to be 4K, preferably almost a 40-inch, because 27 inches at 1440p is my ideal size, but I can't imagine what a 4K panel at that size would be like. It would almost be like diminishing returns. It would be almost too detailed for what I would personally want. But $250 for a 4K TV, if you showed someone this link like a year and a half ago, they probably wouldn't have believed it. It's pretty incredible how cheap some of these 4K monitors have gotten. So here's a 4 terabyte external drive for $100. I wonder if you could, yeah, someone asked the same question, can you shuck it, for the drive inside to put it inside of PC, but apparently Western Digital is notorious for soldering a USB connection directly to the circuit board. Oh wow, so this uses a standard SATA connector and the drives aren't encrypted. So you could basically pull this apart, take the drive out and use it in your PC for $100 for 4 terabytes. That's a pretty incredible deal, and I'm assuming that it's a 2.5-inch drive. It's from Best Buy, so you could probably even what's it called? You could probably even do like in-store pickup and not have to pay for shipping. Do you think that there's going to be a summer sale on gaming stuff this summer? Well, there's always the Steam summer sale, I'm pretty sure. And apparently that's when it's like you can get all of the legit games from Steam super cheap instead of going to like G2A or something to get them super cheap. So definitely be looking out for that. I'm not sure when that starts, but I'm probably going to be snagging a bunch of games when that goes on. So in terms of other stuff, this is a pretty nice motherboard for $90 using this code, a Z170 Pro. This is, I think, Asus's, I don't know what the plural, or how to say that, but this is one of their most high-end Z170 boards, and for $90 after mail-in rebate, it's with a huge rebate card. Rebate card as well, so you have to do the mail-in rebate, but still, for $90, I think that's a pretty good deal for that board, especially considering how expensive it normally is. Hey, Angry Tech, how's it going? If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. Let's keep on looking for the deals. Angry Tech is saying Asus as in you, so Asus as opposed to Asus. It's funny because it's like split down the middle of what people think. Danny from Nerd on a Budget actually has a poll running. I don't know if it's still pinned on his Twitter, but it was pinned on his Twitter of which way you pronounce it. So you can go over there and cast your vote to say how you pronounce Asus or Asus. Danny chiming in again. Asus. Let's see. 1080. These 1080s are dropping in price a fair amount. $430 is still way too rich for my blood for a GPU, but this is a card that was probably almost like $550 or $600 just a few months ago, and it's the For the Win edition, which is pretty high up. Team says Danny sharing the link. Hey John, let's go ahead and look for more deals. eBay bucks, 10% off a purchase of $50 or more. That's pretty good. eBay has a lot of good deals on stuff. You can buy them new, used. I actually may look on eBay for deals in a minute. Swagger, where can you find the Europe deals? I want to say there's a build a PC sales Europe. Let me see. Oh, I know there's a hardware swap Europe. Let's go ahead and search that. Of course, it's not showing up. I'm pretty sure if you Google hardware swap, don't use Bing, use a real search engine, go to Google. Okay, yeah. Danny coming in with the save. Yeah, I believe there's the Build a PC sales for Europe, as well as I want to say there's a hardware swap for Europe as well. And I'm pretty sure shipping across Europe isn't that bad. I guess there's the import costs and all that stuff. Yeah, I know it's pretty expensive to build PCs over there. But yeah, I'm sure if you search for deals, you'll be able to find stuff. It'll just take more time, I guess. You have a 750 Ti, just don't know what RAM to get, and what CPU do you recommend for the Optiplex 760? I don't know if that's an LGA 770. Okay, so it's got Core 2 Duo. So what you can do is go to look up Optiplex 760 supported CPUs, not PSUs, CPUs. Got a text, 1 second. And there's a bunch of other people who have probably looked up this same question in terms of what CPU can they upgrade to. Looks like a Q8200 is an option. A lot of these Core 2 quads you can pick up for like $10 on eBay. Just make sure you have the thermal paste to replace that when you do it. So yeah, I definitely just Google Optiplex 760 supported CPUs and just pick the best Core 2 quad you can find for a decent deal on eBay or wherever you would be purchasing your PC components from. What is a good motherboard and CPU for the 1070? You're definitely looking at least getting an i5 or Ryzen 5. I'd probably recommend the Ryzen 5 over the i5 just because you're going to get so much more cores and threads for the same price. If you're looking to do content creation, something like the R5 1600 would be incredible for the money. And if you're looking to do just strictly gaming, the R5 1500X, I believe it is, would be really good. Yes, Swagger, the US prices are pretty good. And what's crazy is, what's even better is the prices in California near Micro Center and Fry's. So it's like, the deals in general in America are really good, but in California, they're just insane if you live near a Micro Center and Fry's. And yeah, and also the used market's really good there too. B250 and what CPU do I recommend? I mean, honestly, I can't think of one off the top of my head. You're best to look at the forums of what people have said they've upgraded to for that system. What do you think is the best school gaming laptop? Love your videos. A look. Thank you, Urban Runner. Best school gaming laptop? It really depends on your budget. The cheapest you're going to want to go for a gaming laptop, something that I've talked about, showed off on the stream before, and I'm assuming you're talking about new gaming laptops. You can usually get an okay gaming laptop for 1080p gaming for $400 used, but the 940 MX is the kind of the cheapest I would go for a new laptop. You can get an i5 with a 240 gig SSD, and this should have the 940 MX, which is okay for 1080p gaming, for $580. That's a decent deal. If you're willing to pay a little bit more, you can get a GTX 1050 laptop. I want to say they're under $1,000 now. Yeah, here. Wow, this is actually something that I would go for. Is this? It is a Core i5 GTX 1050, full 1050, not like the cut down version. 256 gigabyte SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, $800. This is a really good deal, and I believe the GTX 1050 outperforms the 970M. So this is a decent looking laptop, and this is kind of what I would recommend as kind of a sweet spot, because once you get into the high end of the gaming laptops, you really kind of get into the realm of diminishing returns. but they do make like GTX 1060 laptops that are okay deals. Oh wow, is this one has a 1060 in it for $1,000? Yeah, oh, it's the 3 GB version. That's all right still though. You're getting a quad-core 8-thread CPU, GTX 1060, all in a laptop for under $1,000 is actually a really good deal. Hello, Snickers. Yeah, there's, let me check the chat right now. Let me see. Samsung has a pretty cheap Odyssey 1050 gaming laptop. Yeah, I was seeing, that's pretty surprising. Samsung is getting into kind of like the gaming laptop game. Let me see if I can find the GTX 1050 laptop from Samsung. Oh wow, this is actually a pretty nice looking laptop as well. But honestly, I'm not a big fan of like gamer aesthetics. I'd prefer something like, I think the Razer Blade looks really nice. Apparently it has heating problems or whatever. Swagger is saying that he has an Amazon account with $50 on it. Bought the dollar one by accident. It should have been 50 euros, but when I went to amazon.de, it said dollars and that confused me. Oh, that's too bad, man. Is there a way to swap it to euros? I'm honestly not sure. You definitely have to either talk to Amazon customer service or look that up online. I don't know that off the top of my head. Looking at the Dell 7567, anyone got the IPS model? I'll go ahead and look that up to see what that is. So is that a new gaming laptop, I'm assuming? If this would load. Oh, this is the Inspiron 7. Sorry, dropped my phone. The Inspiron 7000 series. I'm pretty sure I saw a video from Dave2D on these. If any of you guys are looking for gaming laptops or laptops in general, I would definitely recommend checking out Dave2D. He is the authority on all things mobile and his videos are incredible. So just search Dave2D on YouTube if you haven't already subscribed to him. And even if you're not interested in laptops that much, he'll make you interested in them. His videos are incredible. He shoots with a I want to say he shoots with a red weapon, which is like an insanely expensive nice camera, the same one MKBHD uses. Ronto says, hey Matt, been watching the stream since the start, but was on his phone in the car. Nice, Ronto. Nice to see you joining the stream. I'm pretty sure you were in the chat last week as well, so welcome back. You want to see the official IPS model? Yeah, I would definitely recommend going for IPS on a laptop because obviously you're going to have those weird angles, and if you're sharing it for stuff like in class and you want people to be seeing it and have a good view of what's on the screen, I definitely recommend IPS. As well as if you're into content creation, Photoshop, any of that stuff, the IPS panels are going to be a lot more color accurate than the TN or other ones. But there's also ways to calibrate and all that stuff, but this is just getting kind of into the nitty gritty and all that. Uber says, hey, Tech by Matt, you should do another budget build showdown. Yeah, we definitely want to do another one in the future. We haven't really talked about it recently, but I'll bring that up to the rest of the guys. So like Nerd on a Budget, CompTV, Oz, yeah, and I'll see if they want to do another one in the near future. Toasty Bros as well. Let's see this. Do you know how to get Windows for a little cheap? You can actually run Windows 10 unregistered indefinitely for free. The only downside is there's a little watermark that says activate Windows. You can actually see my copy of Windows is not technically activated. You can see in the bottom right of my screencast. Yes, third week in a row. Nice, Toronto. But yeah, you can run Windows 10 unregistered free indefinitely. And actually one thing is, and then if you want to register in the future, you can get it from a site like Kingwin or whatever, but the key resellers are sometimes like gray market. A lot of times the keys for games and software and whatever else you get from Kingwin, G2A, they can be legit, but a lot of times they're kind of gray market, sketchy. They may be canceled later on, so I just run it unactivated. And yes, this is my daily driver PC. No, but yes, this is my daily driver PC with the nice activate windows. But the one thing is, you don't see that in like benchmarks or anything, because if I'm recording gameplay or something for something, I will run it in 16:9 aspect ratio. Well, this is a 21:9 screen. And the way I have OBS set up, I can actually show you guys. I'm pretty sure. You can see all I have, actually this is just showing you my screen, but I just have the right half of my screen kind of casting, and then the other half I have to monitor chat, monitor OBS, and all that stuff. Have I tried to use my college email to get free or discounted window keys? Yeah, I know there's Microsoft DreamSpark, and I went on the website and registered and everything, but I haven't actually used any of the keys yet. I actually probably will use that free key for my main rig. That makes the most sense. Because I remember one time I was selling a PC and I was like, oh, should I sell it with Windows? Maybe I'll look to use that key. Then I was like, why would I use my one free super legit key to sell to someone else? Mitch McCann got Windows 10 through ... means ... Yeah, I think a lot of people have got it that way as well. How do you install the Windows? You're going to need another computer to download Windows from the Microsoft website, and then you're going to need a USB flash drive, at least 8 gigabytes. Maybe 4 gigabytes will work, but probably with 8 gigabytes, it'll definitely be fine. And you basically, there's plenty of tutorials online. If you just go to YouTube and search how to make a Windows 10 bootable flash drive, you make that flash drive, you plug it into the computer, and when you boot on the computer, you mash to get in the BIOS, and then you select that drive to boot from the BIOS. It sounds complicated, but there's tutorials that spell it out really well if you just search on YouTube. Rowan Fitzgerald says, Matt, do you know if Doom 2016 is CPU intensive? From what I understand, Doom is a pretty well optimized game and uses both your CPU and GPU pretty equally, but I'm not sure. I don't own Doom, and I don't really necessarily pay that much attention to the Doom benchmarks when people run them. And yeah, people, NC Tech, thank you for answering his question in the chat. Let me see. Ronto said, did you hear that Intel told i7-7700K users to stop overclocking the CPU to avoid high CPU temperatures? I did hear that, and what I'm wondering is that because of a poor design choice of the 7700K, or is it because of suboptimal thermal compound between the heat shield and the CPU itself? Because I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of delitting, where you take the heat shield off, take the crappy thermal compound that Intel puts between there, and put better stuff. So I don't know why they wouldn't put the high quality stuff on their high end overclocking CPU to begin with. That just doesn't make any sense for me. Sorry if I'm missing some of your messages in chat. There's a lot of messages. Let's see. Mitch McCann said he just got a $5 mouse because the other one broke. Have you thought of doing a video on mice? Yeah, I actually did. The only video I've done on a mouse is one that was $1 with free shipping on eBay. I found it, and the price has since increased, but I definitely look into doing more mice videos in the future. But I need to get down like a good testing methodology because mice, there's a lot of different aspects that make a mouse good or bad, and I'm not 100% up in terms of all of those aspects. Bad Karma says he loves Nerd on a Budget's videos. Yes, I enjoy his videos as well. Let's see. That Monitor Cord said, hey, thanks for the videos. Ordered the parts for the $400 build that was showcased in your video. I hope you did the newer updated one that I just released last week, because that's kind of the latest and greatest of what you can get for $400 and what I recommend. So definitely let me know how that goes, and you can message me on Twitter if you want any advice in terms of putting stuff together or whatever. What CPU cooler do I use? Because if I'm getting Ryzen, in need of a good cooler to overclock it. The thing with Ryzen CPUs, it's not as much the cooler or motherboard that's going to determine how high of an overclock. I'm sorry guys, my nose is itching like crazy for some reason right now. But it's going to be the individual chip, and also Ryzen doesn't have a crazy high potential for overclocking. So, what was I going to say? Doesn't have a crazy high potential for overclocking, so you're better off not spending an insane amount of money on the CPU cooler and motherboard, and just trying to get a higher up variant if you're getting one of the lower variants. But that's just my two cents. Obviously, a lot of people, about the highest I've seen is 4.1 gigahertz. So if you're considering getting like a 1600 and overclocking it with a nice motherboard and cooler, you might be better off just sticking with the 1600X. Or if you're going for 1700, go for the 1700X. Definitely don't get the 1800X. It doesn't really make much sense to get that processor. Uber says that he delidded a Q6600. Bad idea. Cut off some of the transistors, whatever, CPU's dead. Yeah, that's not that big of a deal. Q6600's what, like $10 on eBay? Definitely good to practice on. I know you can 3D print a CPU delidder, and so that may be a video that I could do in the future, is 3D printing a delidder and delidding a CPU. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know in the comments. Wow, lots of chat. I'm sorry if I'm gonna miss anything. Someone's saying they have a 4690K and a 660 Ti 3GB. What would be the best GPU upgrade? With the 4690K, you could go up to a 1070 or 1080, but even going up to something like an RX 480 or GTX 1060 is going to give you a incredible boost in performance compared to what you have right now. So probably if you look for a good deal on RX 580 and pick that up, you're going to see a night and day difference in gaming performance. Let's see what other people are saying. How do people get these usernames? You'll just go with the 212 Evo, Lucindaquil. Yeah, the 212 Evo will be perfectly fine for a light overclock. You can even see Bitwit's video where he overclocked using the stock cooler to basically as high as he could get it, even with like water cooling or something incredible, or incredibly expensive or more expensive than that. So going with something like the Hyper 212 Evo. Also definitely check out CryoRig's coolers, because they've got a lot of good looking affordable coolers that work well as well. Let's keep on going. Kate's says, hey Matt, just got the MSI Gaming X 1050 Ti. Impressed with it. 4GB card for $160. Good deal. Yeah, 1050 Ti is definitely a pretty good card. The Gaming X is also a really good looking card. For $160, that's not a crazy good deal, but if it suits you well and has the performance you want and the aesthetics you want, then good for you. And enjoy it, play games, and yeah. Someone is saying, don't do that. Get a cheap D-lid kit off eBay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get a D-lid kit pretty cheap. There's going at it with like a chisel and a hammer will leave you disappointed probably. You get these usernames by buying them off eBay. That's how you got the funds for your first build. Nice. Rather spend $50 more and not break it. Definitely, if you're delitting something like a 7700K, definitely buy a cheap kit online. I think at this point I'll probably start playing Overwatch and continue to watch the chat. And yeah, so if you guys let me know which Overwatch hero you guys think I should play, let me know in the chat, and I'm going to load up Overwatch right now. Hopefully that did it. Let's check OBS. There we go. Turn the Overwatch volume back up. I think I had it at 31. And let's play some Overwatch. Let's see. You're rocking your 2011 setup. Is that an LGA 2011 or from 2011? Can I help you find a DDR2 RAM for Optiplex 760? I mean, honestly, your best bet is to either look locally or look on eBay. I can help you try to look out for one and see if I see one, message you on Twitter or something. Yeah, you can use a 3D printer to make a delitter, and I actually have a 3D printer, so if that would be a video you guys would be interested in seeing, 3D printing a delitter, then delitting a CPU, let me know. Loot box. Yeah, I can open my loot boxes. Play Zarya. Play the ninja dude. Let me think of... I don't think I'd be able to play Genji, and watch chat, but I might be able to play Zarya, Snickers, or Cyndaquil asked for Zarya. i5 2400, HD 6770, 12 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad system at all. You can upgrade your GPU and you'd get a much better gaming experience. The i5 2400 is still perfectly good for 1080p gaming. So if you are wanting more performance, definitely just upgrade your GPU because everything is looking good. Is HD 7470 fine for CSGO? Honestly, I'm not sure because I don't know that GPU off the top of my head. But what was I gonna say? But if you can Google benchmarks for it and it should tell you. But CSGO is very CPU intensive, so your CPU is going to affect your performance much more than your GPU. Dang it. Yes, now I've got some charge. Do you think 480 or 580 has better value? They're not really selling the 580s anymore. They're the same exact card, so if you could get a 480 for cheaper, I'd just go with that. Whichever's cheaper, because they're essentially the same card. Next gaming PC. Oh, you were saying you're getting that laptop, right? 1060 or 1070. Obviously, the 1070 performs better than the 1060, but the 1060 is not a bad card. But if you are looking for a card around the performance of a 1060, I'd probably recommend the 580 over it, just because it's pretty similar performance for less money. I need healing. What resolution am I playing at? Alright, see you, Danny. I'm just playing at 1080p right now. I've got it windowed 1080p. I don't know what stream what resolution the stream's at right now. I think it should be 1080p streaming. Oh crap. Why can't I hit any of it? Play Rust? Maybe I could stream Rust. I don't really have it set up to stream right now, so maybe in a future one. Let's see if I can get this Mercy. Got him. Oh, crap. Found out why RAM prices are so high because smartphones now using DDR4. I don't know if that's entirely why. A lot of it's just because the industry, the RAM industry is controlled by a small group of companies and people, so they can basically choose to charge whatever they want. Any good cheap motherboard for gaming? I mean, your motherboard's not really going to affect gaming performance. What was I going to say? So if you're on a budget for gaming, get the cheapest motherboard with decent reviews that support your CPU. So if you're going with a G4560, get the cheapest B250 board available, basically, and that's going to be perfectly fine for gaming. You have the parts to build a Pentium G3258 machine, but no motherboard. What should you do? I mean, you could look for a cheap motherboard on eBay or something. Overwatch is the only game I have set up. Sorry, John. But I'll try to set up other games for future streams. Oh, man. Didn't even get me. Oh, this guy did that.
Roadhog rides again. Ultimate ready.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know in the chat and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Where the heck did Diva go?
We must work together. Move the payload.
I cannot land it.
No one can hide from my sight.
What the heck? Do you think Overwatch is worth $40? Yeah, I personally do, but I'm a person who probably favorite game type is first-person shooters. So I don't know. I play it a lot. I've definitely got my money worth out of it, and it's updated very frequently. So, and I feel like it's the type of game people are going to be playing for a few years to come. So I don't know. If you have a friend that has it, I definitely recommend like going over to his house and trying it out and see if you enjoy it. I enjoy it personally. Oh. Also, do all hard drives work on any PC with SATA cables? Yeah, if it's a SATA hard drive, then it's gonna work in any PC. Why did I delete the past streams off the channel? The past streams actually aren't deleted. They're just unlisted in a playlist. And it's just so that people coming to the channel can see my like main content more easily. And I'm probably, I don't know if I'll leave this one up for like, but basically if you just go to my Twitter, the pinned tweet is the playlist, or if you just go to playlists under my channel, then that's what it is. There's a playlist with all. Yeah, even SSDs. The only thing to check is if you're gonna get an SSD, make sure you're plugging it into a SATA 3 port versus a SATA 2 port so you can get the full speed out of it. But yeah. Let's go ahead and search for another game. And I'm probably, this may be the last game. I'm probably going to end it at 9 or a little after 9. So if you've got questions, definitely let me know. But yeah.
Traveling to Route 66. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Who should I play? Let me know in the chat down below. Yeah, sorry, Ronto. Let me see. I'll play Lucio. Lucio's fun to play. Do I think Core 2 Duo would be able to play modern games with a 750 Ti? No, but if you change it to a Core 2 Quad, it should work just fine. With a lot of modern games. But obviously look up benchmarks for the games you're wanting to play before you buy them. But for stuff like Overwatch, CSGO, League of Legends, even G2A5 or GTA 5 at lighter settings, you should be fine with a 750 Ti and Core 2 Quad. But the Core 2 Duo is just not really good enough for modern games anymore. And the Core 2 Quad is kind of becoming obsolete at this point too. So, but it's still okay for like 1080p gaming. Sombra, maybe I'll switch to Sombra. I'm pretty bad at her. Oh crap.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
I usually just like dance on the payload or whatever.
Oh, excuse me.
Is the Xeon 5650 good for Overwatch on 1080p? Yeah, that's perfectly fine for 1080p gaming. Those motherboards are pretty expensive though. So if you can get one of the motherboards that supports it cheap, then I'd say go for it. I believe that's the X58 platform. Man, none of these guys can kill me, and I'm like reading the chat and stuff. And I'm sure as soon as I say that, they'll be get me.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, finally they got me. Can you get an i3 for your Optiplex, or would it not be supported? No, if it's LGA 775 with Core 2 duos and quads, it would not be supported. Who's my favorite Overwatch hero? I used to play Devo a lot, but I don't play her as much anymore. I try to play a variety of characters. I don't know if I've got a favorite right now. I've been playing a lot of Roadhog lately, but I don't know if I'd call him my favorite.
Turn it up. Push on.
No
Is the Xeon E5 2698 good for very light 720p gaming? No, it's not good. You need at least a 22 core Xeon for 720p gaming. You hate Orisa? Orisa's alright. She's kind of fun to play, but she doesn't really have her place that much in the game yet. I should probably ult soon, but none of my team's here, so...
Oh, let's break it.
Oh, that's... Oh, crap.
Time to heal up.
Oh,
Too good.
got him. Good CPU for AM3 Plus. Yeah, the FX 8350 is fine. Definitely don't be trying to buy that new, but if you're upgrading, the FX or 8350 would be fine if you're upgrading from like a 4 or 6 series AM3 CPU. And I know like the FX 6300 new was like $60 on Amazon a couple days ago, which I mean if you're upgrading you already have an AM3 Plus board, that's not a bad deal.
My ultimate is almost ready.
30 seconds.
My ultimate is almost ready. Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Got him.
Victory.
What's the best / fastest 16 gigs RAM you could buy? I mean, honestly, RAM's not really going to affect your performance that much unless you have Ryzen. So if you're on an Intel platform, get whatever is honestly whatever's the cheapest and is supported, whether you have DDR3, DDR4. But with Ryzen, just look up your motherboard manufacturer, see which specific types of RAM they support. Try to get at least 3000 megahertz or 2800 megahertz RAM, and whichever is the cheapest and also at least that decent speed, then I'd go for that. But that's just for Ryzen. With Intel, it really doesn't matter your RAM speed. What's my favorite RAM heat spreader? I like the G-Skill Trident a lot. Trying to think what else. I'm not the biggest fan of Corsair Dominator Platinum. I think it's kind of overhyped.
Traveling to Route
I actually have
66.
PMY Anarchy RAM, so I think this is going to be the last game,
Prepare
and then
to attack.
I'm going to end the stream.
Select your hero.
Who should I play? I'll play Pharah. I don't ever play Pharah. What's 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1? It's 10. The heat spreader on it are lit. Yeah, I think they look decent. They look pretty good.
I will protect the innocent.
But yeah, this will be the last game, then I'm going to end the stream. So if there's any more questions, definitely leave them below. Sounds better in person when you type it, it's easy. Yeah, what's 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1?
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Enough waiting around. Let's get out.
Maybe I can get some boops off the map
Move to the beat.
this round.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attack commencing.
And of course, May iced off the wall.
Escort the payload.
Oh, God. Torbjorn and... Alright, there's only one hero that can take these two down. Pro Genji. I'm so bad at Genji. You're gonna start a tech channel this summer? Nice. Definitely. Let me know when you do and I'll check it out. Got him. Where did the Torbjorn go? Ready for work.
Much better.
Phenom X4, 550 Ti. I'm not sure unless you say which CPU specifically. Those sound like they should be pretty even.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Enemy turret ahead.
Oh crap.
My ultimate is ready.
Aw, I should have deflected.
I will not waste this chance.
That sounds like a decent deal, John. X4955. I'm not aware of that specific CPU, but it sounds like they should be, that seems like a decent combination together.
Oh, let's break this.
I need healing.
I am ready.
Our duty is to move the payload. Get to it.
I'm pretty bad at aiming with Genji.
I need healing. I require healing.
Para reporting. Junkrat primed and ready.
Dang it.
your hands.
Helden sterben nicht.
Let's drop the beat.
Man. Oh, I haven't ulted yet. I need to ulti. What if Genji was much more faster? He's pretty fast already.
30 seconds remaining.
Let's see if I can get a sick ult, or if I'll just get Shrek.
Conclusion. We must attack.
Oh god, that was bad.
Rain from above.
Alright, see ya, Uber. But yeah, I am going to be ending the stream now. Any last questions, guys can go ahead and let me know. Right now, I'll open my loot boxes, see what I got, and yeah. Nothing really good in that loot box. 3 whites and a gold, of course, nothing good. A purple. Roadhog, what is this? I wonder if I already have that. Maybe not. And then 2 blues, a purple, and what is this? An emote. Alright, so yeah, guys. Let's see. Ronto says, FYI, when he starts his channel, he'll record with his phone. Is that okay for starting out? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. 2 500 gigabyte hard drives. How can I do RAID? You can usually do RAID within your BIOS, but I definitely just look up a tutorial on YouTube. But yeah. So, yeah, I think this wraps the stream up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video up. Go ahead and check out all my other videos. And yeah, this is Matt from Tech by Matt signing out. Peace.